Hi, this is T. Michelle Birdsong, Eve, mother of all living, daughter of the sun. You're looking at a picture of the Son, Jesus Christ, the Buddha, Gorinda Singh Dhillon. This is the other son of the sun, Adam, now being Michael Bublé. Okay, let's begin. The genie in the movie Aladdin was played by Will Smith. Will Smith was the third son of Adam and Eve. He said, "Be specific with your words. The deal is in the details." Details, daughter of the sun's tales, her tales. This is Herstory. I find truth is in the letters, put together to spell words. Words are the world's orders. The truth is the food for the soul, which you find in the spellings. So, S-O for so, U for Y-O-U-L for will. So you will. Adam. A for A, D for daughter. A-M for A-M. M-A for M-A. A, the first daughter to arrive on earth. M, Ma. Mother Eve. Earth's heart. Okay, now let's decode Herstory. H for heaven, E for energy, R for her, R for Radha, S for Sami. Radha Sami means Lord of the soul. S-T for saint. There's a cross here. Cross. O for over. R for her, Y for I. Ego. Heaven energy, her, Radha Sami, Lord of the soul, the saint, crossed over her ego with help of Muji Baba and connected with and saved herself from insane man. That's another video. By convincing him it was a fruitless endeavor to harass and torture her emotionally for money. She and her holy royal family of true humans, good gods, geniuses, and saints can live forever with trillions of dollars because she accepted responsibility for wrecking her own dream after her husband left her home alone with the children while he hung out with Stevie Wonder trying to advance his career and with having affairs with other women, not realizing Stevie owed her for causing her to have to live. She chose, because of her sympathetic nature, to live with Adam's first wife, Lilith's punishment as her own. She thereby Eve thereby becoming an empath. The movie Minority Report about empaths. Eve's childhood nickname, Minnow, M-I-N-O. Pronounced Minnow. Let's go over here before I get into that. T. Michelle Birdsong was Eve, Adam's second wife. Stevie Wonder was Adam's penis that committed original sins with Lilith, oral and anal sex. Okay, so Minnow, pronounced Minnow, Minnow. Mennonites, definition of Mennonites, chiefly in U.S. and Canada, a member of a Protestant sect originating in Friesland in the 16th century, emphasizing adult baptism and rejecting church organization, military services, and public office. My husband, Mike Spear, spent time in the Netherlands. His favorite part was the province of Friesland in the Netherlands. He said the people and food were the best of the Dutch, just as the Sikhs in the Punjab are the best of Indians. Friesland definition: noun, South African, an animal of a black and white breed of chiefly dairy cattle, originally from the province of Friesland in the Netherlands. Tim Michel, black, and Mike Spear, white, were two such cows before taking human birth to this life. As a black, Tim Michel became white, part white, because becoming familiar with the white people's world, being married to Mike. And Mike, the white man, became partly like a black person, learning about the culture from his black wife. They had been connected in past lives, as Michael was T. Michelle's mother's abortion, and she was T. Michelle's mother's daughter, of course. And the mother is now Jandara Ranziger. Okay, so they had also been connected as George Burns, Mike, and Gracie Allen, T. Michelle TV show. As Mr. and Mrs. Sawan Singh, he was Sawan. She was T. Michelle, his wife. He was head of the RSSB, a guru. As Radha, T. Michelle, he was Krishna. When he was a guillotine operator during the French Revolution, he beheaded the Queen, Marie Antoinette. She was T. Michelle's sister. Today, the beheaded queen is Russian-American Maria Cott, the money manager and writing group teacher at St. Francis of Assisi Residence 3 in Chelsea, Manhattan, New York. Maria Cott has been an American educator, Mary McLeod Bethune. She worked with President Franklin Roosevelt, his wife Eleanor Roosevelt, now being Judy Ruttinger, artist and resident at St. Francis of Assisi Residence 3 in Chelsea. President Franklin Roosevelt, now being black Congressperson James Clyburn from South Carolina, the Democratic Party whip. Whip means scourge of the earth. A whip is an official of a political party whose task is to ensure party discipline in the legislature. This means ensuring that members of the party vote according to the party platform rather than according to their own individual ideology or their own beliefs or the will of their constituents, the people who voted for them. Whips are the party enforcers. That's from Wikipedia. Note from Eve. And people wonder why politicians don't keep their campaign promises. The citizens wonder why their representatives don't represent them in what was set up to be a constitutional government. Also, lobbyists influence Congress people. Lobbyists bribe Congress people to vote the way they want them to vote what is best for them, their interests. AIPAC, American Israel Public Affairs Committee lobby, have an enormous amount of money. From the site Intercept, the headlines read, Pro-Israel lobby, AIPAC caught boasting of its influence in Washington. This is how AIPAC really works. An AIPAC and Capitol Hill veteran explains the lobby's tactics of reward and retribution, written by M.J. Rosenberg, February 14, that's Valentine's Day. Gorinda Singh is St. Valentine, 2019, a little over a year ago. One thing that should be said about Representative. This is the article. Ilhan Omar's tweet about the power of the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, more commonly known as AIPAC or the Israel Lobby, is that the hysterical reaction to it proved her main point. The power of AIPAC over members of Congress is literally awesome, although not in a good way. Has anyone ever seen so many members of Congress of both parties running to the microphones and sending out press releases to denounce one first-termer for criticizing the power of a lobby? Somehow I don't think the reaction would have been the same if she had tweeted that Congress still supports the ethanol subsidy because the American Farm Bureau and other components of the corn ethanol lobby spend millions to keep this agribusiness bonanza going, which they do. Or that if she had opposed the ethanol subsidy, she would have been accused of hating farmers. Farmers decoded. F-A-R for far, M-E for me, R for Rada, S for Sami. F for feel, A for A, R for her, M for T Michelle, Rada Sami. Feel a her. Feel a her is T Michelle, energy of the earth's heart. Her Rada at atmosphere here, Eve, angel, daughter of the sun, heaven's atmosphere here on earth is Eve. That's American politics, talking about the Congress people not being representative of the people's wishes. Eve notes our need to change our leadership, the Holy Royal Family of true humans, good gods, geniuses, and saints. The only difference between, she's saying that you should change the government, the leadership, to the Holy Royal Family. The only difference between all the domestic lobbies that essentially buy support for their agenda is that AIPAC is working for a foreign government. Government decoded, govern for govern, M-E-N-T for mentality. Governments govern mentalities. That's mind controls. Now, that's a distinction. AIPAC working for a foreign government is a distinction. The AIPAC, but not much of a difference when the goal is to maintain a status quo that is not necessarily in the national interest. This is from a Nation's article, by the way. What did Omar tweet that was so terrible anyway? Actually, it was two tweets that produced the unsettling, but also telling, coming together of President Donald Trump and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi in common denunciation of the first-term member of Congress. Omar's crime, daring to suggest that campaign contributions orchestrated by AIPAC play a large part in achieving bipartisan support for anything proposed by the Israeli government and/or its lobby, AIPAC. Related article. What Ilhan Omar said about AIPAC is right, by Adi Barkin. Back to the article I was reading from. This is, of course, something that everybody knows and which even a former president of AIPAC once admitted in a conversation that was recorded. Interlocutor. In fact, as early as 1988, 60 Minutes did a segment on how AIPAC divvies up the money. Moreover, I, as an employee of the lobby from 1973 to 1975 and 1982 to 1986, repeatedly and personally witnessed the whole process of funding and defunding, which is anything but a secret within the organization. Additionally, I spent close to 20 years as a legislative assistant to Democratic House and Senate members and saw AIPAC's tactics of reward and retribution from that vantage point too. Officially, of course, AIPAC does not engage in politically fundraising. It would be illegal for it to do so, and the lobby is vehement on the point that it doesn't. And it is true that, to my knowledge, it does not directly raise money to support or defeat candidates, but that is just a technicality. Political fundraising is a huge part of AIPAC's operation. One of the three top positions in its massive Washington, D.C. headquarters is that of political director, who runs both the Washington political operation. His annual salary is over $450,000, and deputy regional directors around the country. Here is how AIPAC describes what these officials do, as described in a help wanted description for a Los Angeles deputy regional political director. Help track House and Senate races in the region. They want someone to assist with planning and executing local congressional club events and congressional club components in local events. Attend and assist in regional events. Establish and maintain contact with House and Senate campaigns to assist in the scheduling of candidates' meeting and facilitate the submission of position papers. Solicit financial support for AIPAC's annual campaigns. Conduct candidate meetings. Research, track, and record FEC and polling data. Work with colleagues to increase pro-Israel political participation in the region. Solicit congressional club commitments. Assist with AIPAC legislative grassroots mobilizations. Assist with scheduling and organizing of caucuses in the regions and lobbying appointments during the AIPAC Policy Conference. Assist with the integration of AIPAC's activist basis in the Jewish and outreach communities. Promote participation at local and and national AIPAC events, including regional events and national political training conferences. Research, gather, and deliver information requested by pro-Israel political activists. Other duties as